And hello YouTube, this is Thomas Judge back once again with another video showing another custom edition. This is, assuming I'm showing it in the order that I'm filming these, the last Valiant hardcover deluxe edition that I've had made and I'm going to have made. So without any further ado, size comparison volume, Unity Deluxe Edition 1, and the one I had made, Unity Volume 2. I just want to point out, I really like kind of the contrast between the dust jackets here, because this issue has the circular motif showing Unity, but this cover is from an issue that uses a triangular motif. So it's just nice. It looks good, I think. Understandably, design differences. I am not a graphic designer. I'm not very especially good with computers, so making all this and kind of like mimic all this sort of stuff, it's quite tricky to do. And ultimately I kind of bailed. But as you can see, perfect size comparison. The height exactly the same, loving it. In fact, as it turns out, the width exactly the same because yeah, they've got the same number of issues in pretty much. So let's have a look at the spines. The spines have the usual tag at the top, which matches perfectly. Then it's got a general black pattern here. This obviously looks completely different to the normal pre-2018 design, but as I've said many times, Valiant themselves kind of veered off and started doing weird spine design themselves, which makes me feel less anxious about the fact they don't all match on the shelf. Unless one day I was going to change all the official Valiant ones so they all match, and I'm just not going to go down that route. Let's have a look at the back. I have gone for a lift straight from a trade paperback back here, which gives a nice kind of simple splash image, a bit of text here, the usual logo there. What I did is, rather than have the Valiant thing here, I put in another cover that I really liked. I was torn for quite some time between having this cover as the cover. Actually, I'll get this size comparison out of the way. Yeah, so I was torn for a while of having this image of Livewire as the main cover, and I really wanted to do it, and I actually did design it, but in the end that kind of thematic parallel between the triangular pattern and the circular pattern that we just saw kind of won out. But I really wanted to have this somewhere, so I had this here. This is taken from a trade paperback, I think specifically for the Warmonger volume, which we'll talk about in a second. So as well as having that from the Warmonger volume, so there's 3 trade paperback volumes collected in here. So that's from one of the trade paperbacks. This is the blurb from the first trade paperback, I think it's called Homefront or something like that. And then this is the blurb from the last trade paperback, which is Unity versus the Armor Hunters, or rather Return of the Armor Hunters. If you want to know who the Armor Hunters are, they're a key part of the Exo Manowar thread, which is where Unity very much fits in. So let's take the dust jacket off. Hope you like it. I hope I'm showing the dust jackets off enough and you're getting enough of a feel as to what's in them. But I don't want to dwell on them too much because, the limit to how much people are interested in graphic design. As you can see, nice, simple bind. And then, yep, we're done. Nah, I'm only messing with you. Right, okay, so basically what we have here is we have Homefront, which is the first trade paperback. I think this is trade paperback 4 or 5, I can't even remember. But it contains issues 15, 16, 17 and 18. Keep in mind all the previous Unity issues were collected in the one that we just looked at for size comparison, and then some of them were in Armor Hunters as well and a few others. But anyway, this collects all of them. So we've got 15 to 18 here. Boom, straight into the covers, straight into the binds. As usual, as you'll be familiar from my custom binds, we're looking at perfect mint condition, very polished gloss images, high resolution, no messing around of any kind. Is this? Hang on. Is this? I think this is the issue where you start to realise like how Gilad's resurrection works. Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Anyway, it's great. I can't remember the story too well, but it's great. Here's the image I was talking about. How banging is that? How banging! That is a good Livewire image. I've got to be honest. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we just carry on, and then we go into the next trade, which I believe is the Warmonger. Here we are, the Warmonger. This is not an image I wanted to use as the cover, hence I didn't go with that. But here we have it, the Warmonger. Contents 19, 20, 21, and 22. And then this introduces the Warmonger character. Now, Warmonger is actually the protagonist of the miniseries The Forgotten Queen. Again, there is a video on that on my channel. Speaking of which, for all these stories, there are videos in detail on my channel of the second lot of Unity stories. And in fact, I think the video for Unity Volume 2 actually has this image here on it. You may have noticed that if something is uncollected, I give it a red thumbnail, and as well as that, I put it in sort of square parentheses to kind of indicate it's not collected yet, or not collected officially. Anyway, issue 2 there, looking good. And then that takes us to Revenge of the Armor Hunters. So, nice image there. And this is issues 23, 24, and 25. 25 being a bumper omnibus issue, which is like an anniversary thing containing loads of stories and mini stories and artists and writers and stuff. So that's all be contained in here. It's a really good story. If you like Armor Hunters, it's a really good epilogue to the Armor Hunter story. Non-essential, but damn recommended. And that ends with issue 24. Issue 25 is just random nonsense, to be totally honest. As you can see, there's loads of random goofy stuff. It's actually collected in a few other of the deluxe hardcovers, but to be honest, I couldn't bring myself to not collect it here, so I thought, why not? Just throw it in for completeness' sake. And then you have the gallery specials taken from the back of all 3 trade paperback collections. Oh, there's this. I threw this in here. I think I basically found this scattered across lots of different single issues. So this is Owly. If you've ever read Owly, the comic, which is adorable and great for children, this is Owly meets Exo Manowar, and it's just fantastic. It's just really funny, really cute. Owly doesn't use any dialogue, and it's just... If you get a chance to read Owly, please do. It's really fun. If you've got kids, absolutely recommend it. It's fantastic. So I threw this in. I don't think this is actually officially part of the... trade paperbacks, because the trade paperbacks end here, but I really wanted just to have Owly in there somewhere because I absolutely love the Owly stories, even outside Exo Manowar. I don't even know who published it. I think it's a comic strip in the newspaper somewhere, but it's great stuff. Anyway, I guess that's part of the beauty of custom binds. You can put whatever you want in or leave whatever you want out. Hopefully that's a good indication of what's in here. Usual housekeeping questions. Can you buy it? No. Where can you get this done? Get it done yourself. How do you get it done? Watch my playlists and talk about how to do it. Where can you find someone to do the printing and binding? Google. How can you convince someone to do the printing and binding? Money. All the usual sort of stuff. So yeah, if you want to ask those questions, then please just go to the various playlists and have a look at those. But from my point of view, this has turned out really, really well. And this really is the final piece to my Valiant collection. This is the last custom deluxe edition I'm going to do for Valiant. And to be honest, there's still quite a lot that's uncollected or uncollected as a deluxe edition that I haven't got, but they're not great. I mean, I'm not a completionist, and for those of you that have been watching the series so far, you're probably a little bit surprised by that, because I seem to have complete collections of everything. But that's not really the case. Like, I like stuff that's good, but if there's a particular volume which isn't essential to a narrative and isn't very good, I just won't get it at the end of the day. I'm not an obsessive completionist in that sense, but what I do have, I want to have in the best possible format I can have. So, Unity Volume 2, the one that I've made, great story, really important for my collection. I feel really glad that I have it. And obviously, now that Valiant, this has functionally gone bankrupt, this is never going to be made by anyone. So this is a unique, one of a kind. There's only one in the world of these. Really love how the DJ turned out. Really love how the custom bind turned out. Very happy with this. Well, that's our size comparison. Are we ready for the emotional, very final thirst trap shelving? All right, and here we have it. We can see a couple of gaps here. I could stick it in here by Psylords, but that would just be wrong, wouldn't it? So next to Unity Volume 1, let's slide this bad boy in. Oof. That spine turned out really, really well. I really like that. All right, are we ready? The last Valiant shelving. Oof, nice and snug. Look at that. Oh, there you go. Well, there we are. Hope everyone enjoyed that as much as I did. Was it good for you?
Alright, thanks for watching everybody. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, please follow me on Twitter at @IamThomasJudge, where I will post a daily review of whatever comics I've been reading. You can get an idea of what I'm up to on the channel. And as always, please support the channel by heading over to Amazon.com and checking out my prose novel about superheroes. It's a completely original piece of work. The first episode in it is called Arrivals, and the series as a whole is called No Gods or Kings. You can find an excerpt of that on my website, nogodsorkings.com. Until next time, everybody, stay classy.